In Chapter 10 of Conquest with 0 strength and magic, we face one of the toughest chapters in the series with a much weaker army than normal. Last chapter, we captured Hitaka, who now has 0 strength and magic. Hitaka is a solid early unit because of his great bulk and useful skills. Since I'm worried about this map in particular, I early promote him for an instant power boost. I try to make sure that my frontline units get a plus defense buff from the mess hall, and then provide HP and defense tonics to basically everyone to improve survivability. I open the map by immediately using the fire orbs and ballista, which do damage independent of stats, making their functionality unchanged in this run. Their accuracy isn't too good, but by using them, I'm able to considerably reduce the HP of the initial enemy groups before they even reach me. To secure my 2 flanks, I send Silas to the left and Effie to the right. Silas's role is to secure the house or treasure and stall some Oni savages, while Effie's role is mainly to body block the archers on the bridge. On turn 3, we get reinforcements in the form of Selena, who has 0 strength, Baruka, who has 0 strength, and Camilla, who has 0 strength and magic. Selena lacks standout features, but Baruka's personal skill and class makes her surprisingly useful in this challenge. Camilla, just like in the base game, is a great unit, and in this challenge, her personal skill, Rose's Thorns, is especially useful as a damage buff. Using strategies that I worked out over the course of several attempts, I moved to immediately seize the villages. After moving down to clear some enemies, I immediately moved Camilla over to the right and have Azura sing to move her directly to the Draco Shield village. Unfortunately, this gives me no time to get the duo club, but that's not really a high priority. Oboro attacks Camilla and several other units move to block her, but I'm able to have her lunge a Sky Knight to move out of the trap. I manage to clean up the enemies that were softened up by the siege weapons, but soon a second wave starts approaching. Several flyers try to move past me, but I'm able to shoot them down quite easily with effective bow damage. On the sides, enemies start piling up. On the right, Effie is able to hold the choke, but on the left, Silence starts being pushed back by the Oni savages. At this point, Takumi will drain the water from the port, which opens up the central area, making it much more difficult to defend. So once Takumi activates the Dragon Vein, I immediately fall back with everyone to the final defense point. In a regular playthrough, at this point, you have to really start managing the enemy count, because if you don't, then they will start to pile up and become incredibly threatening as they start surrounding you. But with my low damage output, killing enemies quickly is not only not an option, it is in fact an impossibility. Instead, my priority is to make sure that everyone can somehow live through being attacked by multiple enemies at once for several turns, and to make a formation as resilient against lunge. The selection for units that can serve as a frontline actually winds up being a bit tricky. While Baruka and Camilla are quite tanky, they can't be used as the front units in a pair-up because of the large number of bow enemies. So my plan ends up being to make a 2-rank formation with Korin, Hitaka, Selena, and Effie in front, with my weaker units in the back. By making the formation 2 ranks deep, individual lunge enemies cannot break through immediately to cause an instant game over. I place Korin and Effie on the exposed corners as they have the highest defense, and put Hitaka and Selena in the middle. Hitaka's central position lets him buff nearly everyone with rally defense, and his high HP more than makes up for his relatively low defense. Selena isn't too tanky, but her high speed allows her to double and charge shield gauge quickly, making her surprisingly resilient. As I blockade the defense point, I find that some unexpected Sky Knight AI behavior has worked out in my favor. Some of the flying units have special AI that prioritizes seizing over attacking, and several of them have moved in a way that blocks enemies from attacking, reducing the amount of damage I take per turn. I managed to survive the initial impact, and once the first 2 layers of the enemies settle in, the struggle continues with no change in the status quo, meaning that if I can survive 1 turn, I can probably survive the next. More and more enemies continue piling in, and under normal circumstances, this could be quite troubling, but in this case, they all just hang around uselessly on the outskirts. And with this, I just survive until the turn limit expires, and I have done it. I have beaten Chapter 10 of Conquest on Lunatic difficulty with 0 strength and magic while suffering 0 casualties.